What if the two biggest rivals in football history meet on the grandest stage of all? The 2026 World Cup, Brazil versus Argentina. Just let that sink in. Argentina is the reigning world champion. They topped CONMEBOL qualifying with 38 points, and without Lionel Messi, they destroyed Brazil 4-1 in Buenos Aires. Without Messi, 4 goals, 1 in reply. Brazil, meanwhile, fired their coach mid-campaign, brought in Carlo Ancelotti, and barely held things together. But here is the thing. None of that matters when these two face each other. History goes out the window. Everything goes out the window. Today we are breaking down whether this clash can actually happen in 2026, what the path looks like for both sides, and if it does happen, who wins. Let's get into it. Let's start with how both teams got here, because this alone tells you everything about where this rivalry currently stands. Argentina were on a completely different level throughout CONMEBOL qualifying. They finished top of the table with 38 points from 18 games, 12 wins, 2 draws and 4 losses. Dominant from start to finish. And then came the moment that defined the entire campaign. March 2025, Buenos Aires. Argentina 4-1 Brazil. And here is the detail that makes it even more extraordinary. Messi was not playing. No Messi, and Argentina still dismantled Brazil like it was nothing. That 4-1 scoreline was Brazil's heaviest defeat in World Cup qualifying history. And Argentina did it without their best player on the pitch. If you are a Brazil fan, I need you to sit with that for a moment. That scoreline, without Messi, says everything about where the gap is right now. Now Brazil. They were disorganized and inconsistent for large chunks of qualifying. No clear system, a defensive shape that kept collapsing at the worst possible moments. Dorival Jr. was sacked. The squad looked unsettled and nowhere near the level you would expect from a country with Brazil's history. And then came the announcement that surprised the entire football world. Carlo Ancelotti agreed to become Brazil's head coach. The man who had won multiple Champions League titles at Real Madrid, one of the most decorated managers in football history, was now in charge of the Selecao. Under him, things slowly began to stabilize. The atmosphere in the camp improved. Players started buying in. But, and this is an important word, stabilize, not dominate, just stabilize. Brazil finished qualifying 5th on 28 points, 10 behind Argentina, and there were games in that campaign where they looked completely lost. Then there is Copa America 2024. Argentina won it, again, their record 16th title. Brazil did not even reach the final, knocked out on penalties by Uruguay in the quarterfinals. On penalties by Uruguay. Recent history is firmly pointing in one direction, and that direction is not Brazil. Now let's talk about whether this dream matchup can actually happen, because the bracket plays a massive role in all of this. Brazil are in Group C alongside Morocco, Haiti and Scotland. That is a manageable group for a team with Brazil's quality. Morocco are always well organised and difficult to break down. They proved that at the 2022 World Cup when they reached the semi-finals, but Brazil have more than enough going forward to handle them. Haiti and Scotland should not be causing Brazil serious problems at this level. The full expectation is that Brazil will top Group C and advance with momentum. Argentina are in Group J with Algeria, Austria and Jordan. Another comfortable draw for the defending champions. Jordan is the weakest side in that group. Algeria is organised, but not at the level to seriously trouble Argentina over 90 minutes. Austria has some talented players, but Argentina is operating on a completely different level. Argentina should win that group without much difficulty and head into the knockouts with rhythm. Here is where it gets really interesting. Brazil and Argentina are on completely opposite sides of the bracket. Completely opposite. That means the absolute earliest these two can face each other is the semi-finals. And to even get there, both teams need to come through the round of 32, the round of 16, and the quarter-finals. 3 knockout games each. In a 48-team tournament where anything can happen, that is not a short walk. Remember the 2022 World Cup? Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the group stage. Japan knocked out Germany and Spain. Morocco went all the way to the last 4. So, while both teams are heavily favoured to go deep, surviving 3 knockout rounds without one bad night is never a guarantee. That said, if we are being realistic, both sides should be in those semi-finals. Argentina's consistency and mentality over the past 2 years make them very hard to bet against. Brazil with Ancelotti and that forward line has the quality to beat almost anyone on a good day. The path for a Brazil versus Argentina semi-final is there. Whether both teams walk it cleanly, that is exactly what we are here to find out. Alright, the big question, semi-finals, 2026 World Cup, Brazil versus Argentina. Who takes it? Let's start with Argentina's case, because they are the ones with all the evidence firmly behind them. Argentina are the reigning world champions. They won Qatar 2022. They won Copa America 2024. Julian Alvarez has 49 caps and 13 goals for Argentina. And at Atletico Madrid this season, he has 8 goals and 3 assists in La Liga, a man who has won the World Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League. He knows nothing but trophies. Thiago Almada scored the winner against Uruguay in qualifying and assisted Alvarez's goal against Chile. In every big qualifying game, he showed up. Enzo Fernandez has 38 caps and 5 international goals for Argentina, and at Chelsea this season has 8 goals and 2 assists. Elite numbers for a central midfielder. He won the Best Young Player award at Qatar 2022 and then the Conference League and FIFA Club World Cup with Chelsea in 2025. And Scaloni has built something genuinely special, a winning culture that runs through the entire camp. Argentina do not just have quality players, they have the belief and experience of already having done it at the highest level. Now the case for Brazil, Vinicius Jr., FIFA Best Men's Player for 2024. He has 9 goals and 5 assists in 24 La Liga appearances this season for Real Madrid. 2 Champions League titles, 2 La Liga titles. The man knows what winning looks like. Rodrigo has 37 caps for Brazil and 9 international goals, with 2 La Liga and 2 Champions League winners' medals at Real Madrid. He scored twice against South Korea in October 2025. He delivers when it matters. Endrick, just 19, already has 14 Brazil caps and 3 international goals, and since joining Lyon in January 2026, he has 6 goal involvements in 7 appearances, including a hat-trick against Metz. Then there is Rafinha, with 34 goals and 22 assists for Barcelona in 2024-25, 5th in the Ballon d'Or, and named in the team of the tournament at Copa America 2024. Ancelotti has 4 world-class attacking weapons ready to go, and that alone makes Brazil a nightmare for any team standing in their way. My honest take, Argentina goes into that game as clear favourites. The form says it. The head-to-head record says it. Argentina has not lost to Brazil since 2019, but football has never cared about favourites, especially not when Brazil has Vinicius Jr. running at you in the second half of a World Cup semi-final. 1 run, 1 moment, 1 goal. That is all Brazil needs to make this the most dramatic game in recent football memory. Argentina's experience against Brazil's raw talent. The defending champions are against the most naturally gifted squad in the draw. If this semi-final happens, it will not be just a football match. It will be a moment that everybody remembers for a very long time. So that is where everything stands. Argentina are the favourites. The form, the results, and the recent head-to-head all back that up completely. If these two meet in 2026, it will not just be a football match, it will be a moment that the sport never forgets.